What's up, everybody? Welcome to another good episode of What We Talking About on Afrovibes TV Radio with your boy Real Spill Will.
And your girl Jersey.
What's up, Jersey?
Man, long week, conferences. Whew.
Busy.
Always.
Hard work.
Motion. Super motion.
Promotion. Super motion leads to promotion. Right?
No, it's crazy. How about you?
Busy, I've been training. I got this. They want me to in a new position at the job, so I've been training extra hours. I've been doing 12-hour days to train for this position.
12
It's a little rough, but it's worth it a little bit. It's worth it because what they teaching me and stuff like that. I got experience with machinery and everything, and machines and machine operating. So it's cool. It's just the protocol I gotta follow to get the what you call it, to get the documents I need to run this machine, basically.
Okay. Documentation.
Certification. That's all I'm working for.
All that.
But they offered it to me though, so I didn't ask for it. They presented me with the opportunity, so I guess I'm doing a little something. Small wins. We call them small wins, right? Yeah. So
always celebrate small wins.
There you go. So it's been cool. I can't complain about nothing. Life gonna be life. Talking to the kids and stuff. We talked about that. Cool. Talking to the kids every day. They joking and laughing and everything, and it's cool. Can't wait for you to meet them.
Cool. As you should.
Yeah.
So your kids is coming to Texas?
They coming to Texas. Yeah, they coming to Texas. They coming.
Okay.
So that's gonna be fun. As a dad and stuff, it's just as a man, and we talk about life and share. It's like I'm laughing and stuff, but as an adult, I gotta make sure that I take care of my kid, like our parents took care of us. So a lot of responsibility. They come down here with me. I'm ready for it. I look forward to it. I need them as much as they need me. So. I'll be better for it. So I'm excited.
For sure. That's gonna be exciting.
Like we do everything we do, but life is just like your loved ones are what everything we do everything for. So
for sure.
Yep. And shout out to your dad too. I see you like sometimes the post with you and him. I see the post sometimes.
Me and my dad be doing little like dinner dates.
So I want to salute him. I never met him, but salute to him though, because that's I'm talking about my kids, family member. I care about your family and your well-being too.
You gotta have them little daddy and daughter dinner dates.
That's dope.
Or daddy and son dinner dates.
I think me and my brother we used to get on my dad when he with my sister, because like you and your dad, my dad, everything stops for her every time, no matter what. We was like, man, you tear our ass up, the whoopers and all that, beat us, and you never heard. But this is my baby right here. But I get it now. But now, as you being older, you get it. Like it's supposed to be like that. It's like,
it doesn't have to be like that.
I mean, the mother, it's nothing like it ain't nothing like. I mean, I think I don't have a daughter, but it's dope to see the relationship between a father and a daughter, because it's like the protection, and I feel like when you got that relationship, it prepares her for dealing with men sometimes, and just dealing with society makes her, and not even just men, just dealing with life, because you're getting two perspectives from what a man goes through and how the eyes of what he sees life as, and then you get the perspective from the opposite sex. So I think sometimes it gives you an advantage in life.
It could. It just depends on the situation.
Yeah, definitely. Look, knocking on wood. We talk thinking the same.
So speaking of dads and sons, man, I know you've been hearing about this Deion Sanders son being blackballed.
Yes.
What exactly is blackballing like?
Blackballing.
If you could describe blackballing, how would you?
If I could describe it, I would consider it as the means to deter and block a person's progression or motion in means of an ulterior motive that is based on a wicked agenda. I have to say it like that because it's not like you're doing it for somebody that's bad. People that get blackballed are usually people who their opinion is not popular, but it don't mean it's not the truth. So I would define blackballing as blocking somebody and stopping somebody's basically their livelihood, stopping them from moving in their life. And
I definitely agree. When someone like blackballs, or I feel like blackballing and like cancel culture is almost like the same thing.
it is. It's just a different name.
Yeah.
That's all.
So what's going on? Like, I saw the headline, but like I know you be super into the sport. So what's going on?
Okay, so what's going on? Deion Sanders has a son named Shador Sanders. He has another son named Shiloh, who also got drafted, but we'll get to that later. So his son went to Jackson State, Deion coached at
HBCU.
HBCU. Deion was the coach on the HBCU team as well. He got a job offer at Colorado. He brought his son to Colorado with him. His son became the quarterback. Brought Travis Hunter with him, who ended up being the #1 draft pick in the NFL draft of the first of 3 pick for sure. I think it was #1 though. Went to Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
He brought him with him. So now he's at Colorado. Colorado ain't been having really good winning seasons in a while. They had a great winning season this year with Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders' son is the quarterback. He's been coaching his son since he was a kid. So he's always been his son's coach. So if you know anything about Deion Sanders, you know he's an extremely confident man. He was one of the best football, and he has a right to. I'm a little older, so I saw Deion Sanders' career. I seen how great he was. He's the best cornerback that's ever played football. This is popular opinion. This is what the consensus is. So, and he was flashy, but when you're good and you can back it up, we can't say anything to somebody that can back up what they're saying. And he was the poster child for somebody that backs up what they say. And he was somebody that when he went to a team, they won. In basketball, yeah, one person can go to a team and they can win. But in football, one player don't really change a team like that. Deion went to play for the Dallas Cowboys and they won the Super Bowl. The next year he went to the San Francisco 49ers and they won the Super Bowl. I'm just trying to show y'all the impact of his dad before I get to him. So y'all can understand.
What years was this? Because
this was in the 90s, like 94, 95. These were in the 90s. I was still like a young kid.
Just born.
Yeah, so Deion ran the 90s in football. He was so good that in football, like the court, like for a whole game, like a quarter, whatever side Deion was on, they wouldn't even throw the ball on that side. They just wouldn't even risk throwing it over there. This is how good he was.
Dang.
So to get fast forward past him, but I want to give y'all an idea of how great he was if you wasn't there for it, so you can understand.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he was he was like he was the top. He's to this day. There's nothing you can't. It's nothing better than Deion Sanders as far as athletic. And he played baseball too. He's a professional baseball player. Plays. What? Yeah, so he played
2 professional.
He played for the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Braves at the same time. So we're dealing with the great.
You can't ever do that nowadays, can you?
You can, but there's nobody that's got that. Who got that in them to be able to do it.
Wow.
So yeah, Deion Sanders also was a baseball player. He played baseball.
I never knew you could play 2 professional sports.
Yep, another person did too, but I don't want to get off the subject.
Okay.
I'll tell you, check out that other person later. But Deion Sanders was a 2-player athlete and professional. He played professional baseball for the MLB and football, and he was great in both. Of course, he was better in football, but he was a great baseball player as well. So I'm giving you an idea of this man so you can know what his son is. Okay. So now we fast forward. Deion's retired. Now he's raising his son, teaching him. His son is in Colorado. His son's getting drafted this year. He's predicted in all the media and all the ESPN news saying he's the top 3 draft.
Right there before you keep going.
Yeah.
You said that Deion Sanders coached at Jackson State.
Right.
And his son played at Jackson State.
Correct.
Then he moved to Colorado, and then his son got to play at Colorado?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Transfer. You can players can transfer. Even if that wasn't his son can still transfer there if he wants.
I mean, I know about transferring, but like, I don't know.
You're saying like how he could just leave with him like that?
Yeah, like, I guess it's because the status and it's his son.
Yeah, it's the status and his son, but he took Travis Hunter with him too.
Okay.
And you know what it is too? HBCU, even though Jackson State is Jackson State, the exposure when you go to a Division I, because now HBCU, they not D1, they're not a Division I school. So the HBCU, even though the HBCU, they're not playing the best competition in the nation. Mm-hmm. So anytime you in that aspect, any player can always go up into I ain't gonna say a better college, but a better athletic school to where he's getting national attention. You're not gonna get so much attention at Jackson State.
That is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
A lot of people that do go to HBCUs, you really don't see them like in the professional level.
They get a lot of them get drafted late, but it's because exposure. It's not because they're not good. It's just exposure. Mm-hmm. And you just made me think about that when you said how can you do that. But I'm like, I know that they can transfer. Now you're gonna make me go back and check and see how that worked out now.
Yeah, because you don't really hear that. You went to HBCU and then you transferred to a different division school like that. Like,
and take another player with him.
Ain't no way that's legal.
Yeah, it's legal because they wouldn't let it. Excuse my language. They wouldn't let the black ass get away with that. Now they wouldn't. They wouldn't let him get away with it if it was.
Yeah, like you just don't. That's the thing when it comes to like HBCUs and like sports. Like you don't. I don't understand why they don't highlight it as much as the regular schools, or why can't they have their own separate channel? Like
I don't want to say they do, but it is. They do have it where you can watch all the Grambling games, the HBCU.
Yeah, I know that, but
yeah,
it's Grambling. Of course, they're gonna.
Yeah, that's true. But it's HBCU though, But I know you're saying like Jackson State, like where Shador came from. Of course, when Deion goes there, it's gonna put eyes there, and they're gonna get more attention. People are gonna watch the games. They're getting big looks. Now they're getting more TV games than they would probably usually have in the season. Yeah, that's gonna happen because he's a star, so that come with it. But yeah, you can definitely have a player that goes from an HBCU and transfer up to a Division I college.
I know that, but I'm saying like you the coach and you switching, and then you bringing your student athletes with you.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. That's possible legally.
It's legally possible because every team, like if I go, let's say I play, you ran track, I play basketball. If I'm playing for a junior college, right? And then I'm like, oh, my grades, I'm like, I gotta go to junior college, or I improve myself. And then I level up and, meet all the requirements. Now I'm eligible to go to play D1.
But see, that's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying is he not listening. He was the coach for Jackson State.
Right.
Then he went to Colorado.
Right.
And brought 2 players to Colorado from the school he just coached from.
Right.
That's legal?
Yeah, because not only did his players go, it was players on other teams that decided that they changed their mind before they signed with the college they decided to go to. And when they found out Deion was going to Colorado, they said, oh, I changed my mind. I'm going to Colorado because Deion did. So it's just so happened that he's coaching the team where his players he has players that's gonna transfer with him. So it's legal.
All right.
It might seem weird, but it's legal. It's absolutely legal.
Yeah, at that level. Okay, all right, makes sense. Okay.
You can do it. I mean, paperwork and everything, but yeah, he qualified, he can go, he can leave. If his dad wasn't there, he wanted to go to Colorado, he still can go. But I know what you're saying. I mean, yeah. It's fishy because the dad's
it's just the coach leaving and bringing 2 players with recruiting.
Yeah, he recruited. Yeah. Everything's in the verbiage, That's how the world revolves around language and verbiage.
All right. So now we back to him going to Colorado.
And now he's in Colorado and he's having he was there 2 great seasons. He had a rough time last year because that was the first time he was in Colorado. This year, amazing. I'm yawning. Cut that. Okay. So now, we gotta get started over a bit. Okay, so now he's in Colorado. He has a successful season. One of the top players. His percentage as far as passing percentage is great. He gets sacked a lot, but he's smart. He knows if he takes the sack, he don't have to waste time throwing bad passes and messing his percentage up. He was also trained by Tom Brady been training him for the last couple years. So he's been getting one-on-one time with Tom Brady as well. So we're dealing with a guy who can really play.
Okay.
When he got to the interviews with these teams, they didn't like the way he talked. They didn't like the way he was saying how, he was so confident in himself. I'm trying to bring the team to Super Bowl. Yawning again because I'm hungry. I only do that when I'm hungry. Okay, so I'm hungry as shit. Okay, so they're gonna be like, damn, I gotta edit the fuck out of this. But I'm a professional. We're gonna get it right. I still remember where I was at. So with that being said, we was talking about Deion Sanders' son, Shador Sanders, was proven to be a top player, recruit. He went to these interviews. These people didn't like the way he was talking. They didn't like the confidence. They said he was arrogant. And
is it always like media takes black men's confidence as cocky? Like you just did all this work though.
Yep.
He can show for it. I can see if he didn't show for it. And then all right.
Put the work
now you doing the most.
Right.
You showed work.
Right.
So you should be able to like boast yourself.
They don't, for some reason he rubbed them the wrong way in the interviews. It's but these sources that saying this, nobody has, they're all what do you call it? They haven't revealed themselves. They're anonymous. Nobody has came and said, I said this about him. Nobody's doing it. They're all anonymous sources. So it's like, how true is it if you can't come and say you said it about him? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I believe that if it was true, I would come and say, yeah, he was rude. He wasn't, he wasn't a good people person. He didn't have to talk right. He was disrespectful. He was a little too cocky. Nobody would put their name on these statements that's being.
So because he did that, how has it affected him with the draft?
Because he was froze
he was
out.
Supposed to be like a number one,
at least top 5.
At least top 5, and he wasn't none of that.
5th round.
Dang.
He went from 1st round, top 5 to 5th round.
Because of the interviews.
Allegedly. Yeah, because of the interviews.
That's where the blackball comes.
Yes. And
that's crazy.
Sources say that the owners told the general manager of the teams not to put him on the board, the draft board, or for this team. He's not an option for our team. But this was across the whole league they did this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a black ball, and it's like for the whole league to do that to him, it's a message. It's something like they don't like Deion. They trying to use this to hurt Deion Sanders. But in turn, Shedeur Sanders has the number 1 selling jersey, and he's selling it on his website, not through the NFL.
Through NIL?
He's selling them. Yeah, he's making it money off it. So he has the number 1 selling jersey, and it's making money, and it's on his website. So the NFL not even really.
Man, I have my own opinion about these NIL deals, but we'll get to that.
It's 30 years too late. That's what I say. Shoot.
Oh.
That's it.
I don't know, but let's hold that thought because we do have to go to commercial. But we'll be right back with what we talking about on Afrovibes TV with your girl Jerzey
and your boy Real Spill Will.
Sorry. We'll be right back.
All right, we back on what we talking about on Afrovibes TV radio with your boy Real Spill Will
and your girl Jerzey.
And before the break, we was talking about Shedeur Sanders, right? Yeah. We're talking about how he's being blackballed and how
basically they scrutinizing his confidence as being cocky.
That's the best way to put it. And not on the same scale, but this remind me of when we was on break. It's like the last time I seen somebody get treated like this out the gate that I can remember.
Sports-wise?
That was up and coming. Yeah, Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. They didn't like him. They didn't like when he had his comment. They did that to him. They scrutinized.
He was super confident, but he had to work to back it up.
Right, and in the time that he was doing that with the segregation and everything, they was not used to that at that time.
Oh yeah.
They were. I mean, not to be funny, but the society had this more in quote unquote check, or whatever you want to call that, a little more,
Oh yeah.
Not as out. What wasn't as brash as he was, so he was like ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to Shedeur, all he do is say he great, he legendary, he gonna be legendary, and they don't like it. Which is weird because we had a player that came out years and years ago, a college player named Johnny Manziel. A phenom, great quarterback, flashy. I forgot where he played for. I forgot what college he played for. I gotta find that out. But
do your research.
I gotta do my research. I know, but I'm just going blank right now. But his name was Johnny Manziel, and he was like a phenom. All the celebrities was hanging with him. He was hanging with Drake and all of them when he was still in college. He was
college hanging with Drake.
Yeah, he was a big deal. Like Johnny Manziel was a big deal. White guy, you know what I'm saying? My point is, I like James, so he ain't do nothing to me. He was cool, but my point is, he did the same thing, flamboyant, everything. He got drafted high. Now he didn't pan out because his skills didn't translate in the NFL because he was short, but he got the opportunity. They didn't hold that against him. Yeah, they said, "Oh, he's doing this, he's gambling and everything," but they was more promoting him than getting on. You know what I'm saying? So to see how it switches when they see a black man, just telling you who he is and what he's about and what he's going to provide for the team.
Or maybe we should look at the perspective different because you got to look at what is the mental health aspect behind being basically a famous coach player's son, and you got to live up to some type of expectation.
Right now, yeah.
So maybe he's because he's in the shadow of his dad. I mean, how is he standing out for him?
Right.
Everybody I didn't even know his name until all of this stuff was really going on. And I'm like, oh, okay. But that's still Deion Sanders' son.
It's still the same.
Instead of being separate.
Just being just Shador.
Yeah. So now he's probably like, dang, I need to prove myself, so I am going to talk good about myself.
Right.
And now that I'm talking good about myself and I'm trying to take my own path and have my own spotlight, people are coming down on me.
Right. And
that's how I'm looking at it right now. Because, like, I would probably do the same thing. If I had a famous parent and people are already expecting me to do this, that, and the third, but I am showing the work, why would I not talk confident about myself? He's
accepting the challenge. Mm-hmm. He's being held accountable for accepting the challenge that if he's walking into, he's like, okay, pass the baton to me, Dad. I'm gonna make my own path, but I'm gonna be great as well. You're right. It's not fair, but they don't like it. Like, they don't like us, y'all.
We don't like nothing. We can't do nothing.
Oh, nothing, man.
We can't boast about ourselves. We can't be confident. We can't be weak. We can't be depressed. Like, dang, like, what's the middle? We can't even be in the middle.
We can't be in the middle. We can't be anywhere.
They not depressed and they not super happy.
It's a shame.
Like what?
And like I said, I said this before when I first heard about this and I did my research on it. I said, if he was arrogant and everything like that, and he had a single mom, and his story was, my dad wasn't there, he was in jail, he ran off, and my mom was a hardworking woman, she took him. They would highlight him and they would praise him because they would, you know why? Because it's a perfect story for exploitation.
But because
he has a strong black father that supported him, and he was wealthy, he had money. They don't want to sell that story. They want to sell the broke boy who all he could have been was an athlete, and really what they saying. And he had the poor mama with no daddy. This is the story that they've been selling for the last 30, 40 years in sport. Yeah. And now we got a person who, like Allen Iverson,
came from a good home.
Allen Iverson went through a lot.
Love me some AI.
He went through a lot. Like, his story was rough. He went through a lot. He came in the league and said, I'm not respecting none of y'all on the court. I respect y'all, but on the court, I don't respect none of y'all. They felt like he was supposed to, oh, you got to pay respect to the elders. He said, yeah, I do, but how I pay my respect is I bust your ass when we go on the basketball court. Respect.
What's crazy, though, about AI, just to, like, go off topic? Mm-hmm. He really was the only NBA player that had a whole rap album.
Yeah, he had an album.
Like, come on, that's low-key fire.
And then they made him get rid of the album because he was talking he was talking that talk.
I still got an AI jersey, but when he played for the Nuggets.
We still got an AI jersey. Yeah, salute to AI, by the way. VA zone, baby. Yeah. So, like him, he was arrogant and confident and cocky. But now I'm thinking, damn, if he would have had a big, strong father figure that was heavy, influential person, then maybe they wouldn't accept him the way they don't accept Shador. They want to sell the story where they can exploit you. They always want to have.
Of course.
He's the broke dad. The mom was working 88 hours at Indies and shit.
That's what's gonna sell.
Yeah, that's how they do us all the time. And he beat that. He already beat that statistic.
Yeah.
They can't put him in that box. They can't exploit him. So now they want to make sure that he bows down to the league. They want him to downgrade his confidence and his character to make them feel like they have control of him. Yeah. And I don't like that. And he shouldn't. And like I said, he got the #1 selling jersey out of all the draft picks right now.
Them NIL deals. Can we talk about that real quick?
Let's talk about it.
Because I don't know how I feel about them, because I feel bad for the athletes where it was put into position the year after. Because I'd be, if I was an athlete and then a year later they're starting to pay people, like,
because all the years, back then, like, if you look at like the college players, like back then they had the Allen Iverson Georgetown jersey with the #3 on it, right? Mm-hmm. They never put the name on the back though, but people knew who jersey that was. So it was selling. Iverson didn't get college players didn't get a dime. They sold college players jerseys. Yeah. And the college players didn't get anything.
But I feel like nowadays, like with these NIL deals, like, yeah, granted, it is cool, but then I feel like it's changing the perspective around recruits, because
it is.
Now it's not, some of these people are not even talented like that. Mm-hmm. But because they have a social media presence and they have super fans, mm-hmm. of course, these different brands want them to represent.
would it lead to a higher dropout rate as far as people finishing school as well, because now they got this money coming in? Like, man,
and now they're going to be all right. So now they're going to be a little bit more cocky, also.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just imagine that.
And now it's like I got this money, I can move around how I want. Like after a certain time, like I'm leaving school, I'm gonna go to the league early, or I got money, I don't have to stay in school. Like
or I don't have to try as hard because I'm getting this money now.
Right.
That's why I think that's the one thing I miss about watching college sports is like that's the level that you really know they working hard because they want to get to the next level because they not making no money.
Right. That could have knocked the air out of that drive that they had. You right. You know how it makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I believe it.
And I say that because I have a friend who's a college recruit. He's a college recruiter for football, and he was talking about this dynamic how like these players get cocky because they NIL this, that, and the third, but then your talent doesn't equal that.
It doesn't match up.
Like
they pay these, you know why? Michael Jordan said this and they thought he was a hater. He said, they pay these kids too much too early before they really can show who they are.
Yeah.
And they get the money so early and they get
spoiled. And now they want to get
and they never pan out to who they supposed to be. They never maximize their talent. He said, y'all give them all this money in the first contract, make them work for it, and then make them get their first 3 or 4 years in and see what they really, if they're consistent. Yeah,
that's like the guy from Duke who makes like over $1 million.
Right.
I forget his name. White boy.
I can't remember.
He's a white boy.
I know who you're talking about though, but I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either.
But
yeah, I mean, but he is a good player. I can admit that. But I'm like, dang, like I cannot imagine like going to school. And then the college scene gotta be different because you're going to school, being in class with people that got like thousands of dollars.
It's a different situation now. Like, it's like you just got here too late for us. We didn't get the from that. Shame on them for doing that.
I honestly feel like it might change.
What you mean, like?
I feel like the requirements for NIL might change.
They might adjust the guidelines and stuff like that.
That's like a girl come in, she's TikTok, Instagram famous. Yeah, she's on a team, but then she's not that good.
Right.
So you're only promoting and paying her because she has a social media presence.
Right.
And she might play 2 seconds in a game.
So now it's like.
So then it's where's the
money's coming from marketing her.
Yeah.
Not highlighting what they're gonna benefit from, like as an athlete.
I feel like
generate a championship.
I feel like that's just gonna die down, or something is gonna happen, and someone's gonna sue, and then they're gonna change the regulations.
It's not going. You saying the guidelines are gonna change?
Oh yeah, I feel like it will.
I mean, the way things are going, it's looking like.
Because look at it like this: because people could be cheating the system too. You paying all this money to act like you're on top of the world with fake comments, fake likes, fake followers. You getting all this money, like it's just not gonna. It's not gonna add. It's not gonna add up. It's not.
It's gonna come to a head eventually.
Something.
Like how is this happening like this? Like how is this operating like this? Like without any kind of hiccups or anything being not 100% legal or valid. Like I see what you're saying. It's something going on in here where they're using loopholes to make this.
And it's still. When did this start happening? I forget.
It's a few years ago. It's not been long. It ain't been long.
It hasn't been super long.
No.
And stuff that comes out that's new, there's always going to be stuff that's going to be re-regulated.
Yeah, definitely. Because they didn't probably have everything. The people who did it, the people who observing it probably haven't watched and seen all the holes in it and seeing all the things that are not up to standard as far as probably being something that's fair or legal. Once they do their homework and research it, they're gonna come back. But okay, I gotta change this, and this. You can't do it like that anymore.
Yeah, because I mean, I ain't jealous, but maybe I am a little jealous. Like, dang, these kids are getting paid.
You know the boost you could have got.
Paid. These kids are pulling up in G-Wagons on college campus.
Right off the rip. They already straight.
Of course you're not going to try in school. Of course you're not going to try as hard for your sport because you getting paid. So now it's just going to keep changing the dynamic. So then if these people go pro, that's gonna end up changing too as the older people start retiring. Now the game is gonna look different.
Yep.
Ooh,
you know what?
The game is gonna look
It's
different.
gonna be way different. And you made me think about something this boxer said. This boxer named Marvin Hagler. He was a boxing champion in the 80s and the early, well, mid 80s. And when he became a champion, he said, on my road to becoming a champion, I used to grind hard and everything. But he said, I'm gonna tell you, man. He said it's hard to get out that bed and running 4 and 5 miles every morning when you in silk sheets now. When you in satin and silk sheets. He said it's hard to get up out that bed like it wasn't to be when you just was in that regular bed.
Because the motivation is different. Yep. Granted, you shouldn't just move off of motivation because motivation comes and goes. It should be on discipline.
Right, that's true.
So maybe that's the difference that maybe, I mean, I don't know super knowledge on NIL, but I feel like if they are going to change it, it has to be changed prospectively. Like, okay, you getting this deal, all right, your discipline got to show too.
Yeah, definitely.
At the same time.
For real.
Because if the discipline is there, they're going to keep working hard at whatever sport they at instead of being motivated by the money.
And they got kids, they still young. They still young. They're really out of high school.